Gang wars are on the increase, and they are wars without end. For example, Lorna Hawkins has no more sons left to lose to the deadly gang violence of Los Angeles. She buried her second son today. Ron Allen tells us how a mother's outrage is giving way to despair.
This solemn ritual is painfully familiar to Lorna Hawkins, the lonely journey to bury a son. 21-year-old Joe was killed in a drive-by shooting 4 years ago. Today, Hawkins said goodbye to her last son, Gerald, age 20, another innocent victim of gang violence.
It hurts so bad. Nobody really knows except mothers who've lost their kids. I've known and I've talked to more mothers than I care to who have lost 2 and 3 kids. So I'm not alone.
After gang members killed her first son, Hawkins started a local cable TV program. Drive-by Agony has become a crusade, a mix of therapy and outrage to raise awareness that gang violence kills innocent people too.
He was just an average kid. And unfortunately, he was, what they tell me, at the wrong place at the wrong time.
I've already started fighting because my first son was dead, and I'm going to fight for something else. And I'm tired. I mean, I have no more sons, so, they can't come and get any more from me.
Police never caught the gang members who killed her first son, but this time there are witnesses who saw Gerald get shot in the back. And there may be an arrest soon if those witnesses are willing to come forward. Today, inside the church, mourners shared Hawkins' message that the violence must stop.
The young brothers and sisters, we must change, we must have peace in our community.
But as Hawkins buried her last son, she couldn't help but wonder if anyone has been listening. Ron Allen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
And tonight, another familiar story from the mean streets of a big city, a story of bitter reality. The city is Los Angeles, and it comes from NBC's Keith Morrison.
Jesus said, I am the resurrection.
They buried another young man today in Los Angeles. His name was Gerald. He was 20. He was going to be a probation officer. He was shot in the back, 4 bullets from a gang.
TV cameras did not rush to the scene of the murder. How could they keep up? There are too many. You can't record them all.
Every day in Los Angeles, the gang wars take 2 or 3 more victims, many of them innocent, standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just unlucky. There is a woman here named Lorna Hawkins, whose son, Jim, was in the wrong place at the wrong time 3 years ago, and it was like nobody cared. She wanted to scream to the whole world, my son is dead, and who gives a damn? So she went on a community access TV station and started a program of public grief called Drive-by Agony, a place where mothers could come and scream and cry and demand that this crazy, sick war stop. And with the body count in this war now past 2,000, she had no shortage of guests.
You're here right now, and that makes all the difference in the world.
Somehow, this seemed to help, at least the mothers. Somebody cared. And then the other night, as a tape of her program was on the air, Lorna and her husband were called to the hospital, and the doctors told them to wait. And by the time they saw Gerald, he was dead. That's who they were burying today, Lorna's second son, killed in a war he had nothing to do with. He was going to be married this June. Before the funeral, Lorna said, God, is there something else I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be a martyr? She is 40, and her sons are dead. And she will go on, she says, and scream to the world until somebody gives a damn. Keith Morrison, NBC News, Los Angeles.
On Wall Street today, concerns over higher oil prices.
Finally this evening, our Person of the Week. For only the second time since we began this series, we have chosen someone who works in television. In this case, a woman in California who believes that by using the medium, she is at least able to confront a terrifying scourge of city life.
These young kids are running the streets here in California, and not just here, many other states. Our young men feel like they have to have guns, going to school, going to parties, going to parks. Why? Because the other guy has a gun.
It is all the guns of South Central Los Angeles that have shattered Lorna Hawkins' family. Her oldest son, Joe, was only 21 in 1988 when he was shot and killed by gang members as they drove by in a car. They had mistaken Joe for someone else. Random and senseless death repeated time and again.
My son, my first son, was killed. I wanted to write it across the sky that somebody had killed him, and nobody really cared but me and my family. It made me angry when people told me to get over and forget it. How can I ever get over and forget my son being gunned down like a dog in the street? Hi, and welcome to Drive-By Agony. I'm your host, Lorna Hawkins.
In 1989, Lorna Hawkins decided she could make of her grief and anger something constructive for others. Her cable television show, Drive-By Agony, is an outlet for other grieving parents, and there are many of them.
He was able to keep.
And how old was Bobby?
19.
19. You need an outlet. You need somebody that knows exactly how you feel to listen to you, and you feel like you have no place to go at all. And that's how I felt.
Kevin lived for 3 hours, but he never regained consciousness. It's something that's in your heart and on your mind constantly. And you just, I don't know, I can't explain why, but you have the need to talk about it all the time.
Lorna Hawkins tells others how her own parents, Albert and Rosalie Hawkins, instilled in her a sense of right and wrong when she was a small child.
Like they said, it's something that never, ever leaves you.
Lorna had Joe, the first of her 4 children, when she was only 16. But she graduated from high school and went to college for a year.
I have courage, yes, because I was born with it, from my mother and from my father.
This week, her courage was put to the test again. Her second son, Gerald, 20, a college student studying to be a probation officer, was killed by gang members in an apparent robbery attempt only a block from the Hawkins home.
Both of my sons were under 25 years of age, and they're both dead from gunshot wounds. And I know many, many other mothers in the same situation.
Since Drive-By Agony went on the air 3 years ago, 2,000 people have died as a result of gang violence in Los Angeles County alone. On one of her programs last year, one viewer brought the insanity of it all into very sharp focus. The boy in the red shirt, all of 12 or 13, says he wants nothing to do with gangs. But just the color of his shirt, one gang's color, might make him the target of another gang.
I have one quick comment for the gentleman in the red shirt. I would like to say that, please, take off that red shirt. Don't set yourself up.
Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame that you have to be aware of what colors you wear? I'm trying to wake up people in California. Haven't you had enough? Come on, get with it. Get off your you-know-what and do something about it.
Lorna Hawkins is trying very hard to do something about it. In addition to Drive-By Agony, she is organizing a rally in Los Angeles to demand that government do more to stop the violence. Until then, this is her message for the airwaves.
I'm not going to let any hoodlum, anybody that walks down the street with a gun, run my life for me, and I'll continue to fight even though both of my sons have been taken away from me at the prime of their life.
And so we choose Lorna Hawkins, who will not accept that so many people die in silence. When her second son was killed, she thought of retreating into a private world of grief. Instead, she continues to demand that her viewers confront what the violence is doing to all of them. That's our Reporter World News tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good weekend. Good night.